This conference will now be recorded.
Great. So, hi everyone. Welcome to this session on subject-verb agreement. This session is important from the perspective of getting the basics correct for sentence correction. Subject-verb agreement forms a very important part when it comes to solving sentence correction questions, because 9 out of 10 times the error which you are going to get in the examination is going to be around subject-verb agreement. So I thought I'll take this session, which will start from very basics, and ensure that you know that what do we mean when we talk about the subject verb agreement related error in the questions. Now I'm pretty sure all of us have studied what is subject, what is verb. Just to quickly reiterate, we all know that subject could be anything about which the sentence is talking about, right? This could be a noun, this could be a pronoun, and this could, this particular noun or pronoun could be both singular or plural. Similarly, verb we all know is the action word of the sentence. We all have studied this basic definition in our schools, that what is subject, what is verb. Now when we are reading any sentence and we are trying to see that the particular sentence is grammatically correct or not, these two things, the subject and the verb, they both need to be in proper coordination. They both need to be in proper coordination with each other. And if they are not, then my sentence will end up being grammatically incorrect. So it's very important for me to ensure that if I'm writing a sentence, I'm writing a sentence where my subject and my verb are in coordination. If I'm reading a sentence and checking it out for a grammatical error, the subject and the verb of that particular sentence, they are in coordination. So this is very important. Now, if I have to do this, it becomes important for me to understand that what is the subject of my sentence, and whether that particular subject is singular or plural. Then also identify that which verb is talking about that subject. And once I know the verb, once I know the subject, once I know that subject is singular or plural, I need to just ensure that both these things match with each other. So it's not just about the subject, it's also about the count of the subject, which could be singular or plural. And this needs to be in coordination with the verb which is talking about this subject. There is a possibility that my sentence has two subjects and one verb. Depending upon how the sentence is structured, I will see that whether that particular verb is impacting both the subjects or just one subject. And if it is impacting both the subjects, it needs to be in coordination with both. If it is impacting only one subject, it needs to be in coordination with only one subject. Is it clear so far? Any doubts? Anything which anyone wants to ask? Sakshi, Gunjan, Harsh, Sneha, any doubts so far? Mohit, Sangini? Anything? Any questions so far? Supriya, Damini, Akanksha, Tanya, Harsh. Okay. Now, now let's see. If you would see over here, the quality of the apples were not good. Can you tell me what is the subject? Is my subject apples or is my subject quality of apples? What is this sentence talking about? Is this sentence talking about apples or is this sentence talking about quality of apples? My sentence is talking about quality of apples. It is not just saying that apples were good or apples were not good. It is saying quality of apples were not good. So my sentence is about quality of apples and not just apples. Do we all agree with this? Quality of apples is what my sentence is about, and it is not about apples. Now, when I say quality of apples, is it singular or is it plural? Is quality of apples singular subject or a plural subject? It is singular. So if quality of apples is singular and it is the subject of my sentence, the verb should be singular or plural? The verb which is talking about the quality of apples, it should also be singular. And is were the right word, or should I use was? Was, correct? Vani, because apples is not your subject. If the sentence was apples was slash were not good, I will go for were, because then apples was my subject. Currently, apples is not my subject. My subject is quality of apples. And the moment I say quality of apples, my subject is singular. If the sentence was not having the word quality and sentence was only apples was slash were not good, I would say apples were not good. But if I say the quality of apples was slash were not good, I will say the quality of apples was not good. There is a change in the subject in the sentence the moment I say apples or I say quality of apples. Vani, do you understand it? Dishu, Gunjan, Soumitra, is it clear? Now, there are certain rules. These are not 10 rules. These are exactly 14 rules which we are going to talk about. So we are going to talk about 14 rules of subject verb agreement and not 10. Now, one thing which we all know is very basic, that my subject and verb must agree in number. Either both my subjects and verb, either both my subject and verb should be singular or they should be plural. I will say the car belongs to my brother. I will not say the car belonged to my brother. They also play football. I won't say they also plays football. So play and they need to be in coordination. The car and belongs needs to be in coordination, right? So rule number one of subject verb agreement is very basic. We all have studied it in our school, that the count of my subject and the count of my verb, they should be in coordination. Now the challenge starts. Rule number one looks very simple, but the challenge starts when there come lot of phrases, or there comes a lot of joining words in my sentence, which makes it difficult for me to understand that my verb is talking about which subject. What is the subject of my verb? And that is where my rule 214 will come into the picture. Rule 1 is very simple. Sentence is very simple. Car. The verb is belong. Very easy. But what if there were different words in between which were acting as the joining words? And that would make it tough for me to identify that what is the subject my verb is talking about. Now, my verb needs to be in coordination strictly with the subject it is talking about. If there is any other subject of the sentence, I don't care about its count. So that is where identification of the subject is very important. Now see, Harsh, if you could mute please. Now, if you would see my rule number 2, it says the number of the subject is not changed by words that come in between the subject and the word. One of the boxes is open. Here the subject one and the verb is are both singular. Now see, what is happening if I say one of the boxes? When I'm saying one of the boxes, is it referring to one box or is it referring to boxes? When I say one of the boxes, am I talking about one box or am I talking about multiple boxes? I'm talking about one box. So if I'm talking about one box, my verb will be singular or plural. If it's one box, my verb is going to be singular. Now suppose if the sentence was two of the boxes, then what about my verb? Right. If it was some of the boxes, correct. Anything except one of the boxes will lead to are open or were open, whatever is the tense, but it will be a plural verb. In this particular situation, it is one of the boxes, hence my verb is going to be singular. Is it clear? Now, sometimes you will find something like someone in the game, or everyone in the game, or each one in the game. What will you use in that scenario? Will you use a singular verb or will you use a plural verb? If I say someone in the game, is it singular or plural? If I say each one in the game, singular or plural? What if I say everyone in the game? Now, this is where this exception needs to come. When I say everyone, that particular word contains one at the end, and that is where the word everyone is different. Everyone was hurt, not everyone were hurt, because my word contains the one, and hence everyone is treated as a singular verb. It's taken as equivalent of one. As each is for one, everyone is treating group as one. Udesh, it's very contextual. You cannot standardize it that way. But when it comes to everyone, are we all able to understand that I will treat everyone as a singular subject? I will not treat everyone as a plural subject. Supriya, do you understand? Right? So whenever I will find everyone in my sentence, I am going to use plural or singular verb. What will I use? Okay, great. Now you would have read sentences like most of the news or most of the flowers. Now, before I get there, tell me, is news a singular word or news is a plural word? Singular. Now, whenever we find things like most of the news or say most of the flowers, I will not go by the word most because most is uncountable. I don't know what is most. I don't know what is most. Most could be 70%, most could be 80%, most could be 100%. I don't know. What I will do is, if I have a sentence which is starting off with things like most of the news or most of the flowers, I will have my verb follow the count of the word which is there after the word most. And this is true for any, this is true for all, this is true for any word like some, any, almost. This is all true for all these words where I don't know the count, because when I say some of the news or some of the flowers, I don't know the count. If I say any of the news or any of the flowers, I don't know the count. When I don't know the count because of the words like some, any, almost, I will go by the count of the word which is connected with them. So most is connected with news, I will go with the count of news. Most is connected with flowers, I will go with the count of flowers. Is it clear? That in the case where I am having uncountable word in front of the subject, I'll go by the count of the subject, and I will not worry about most, any, all, some. Same is the case with many. Same is the case with many. So each of the news anyway has to be singular, because news is also singular and each is also singular. So even if you have the word each, see, each is different. Each is not uncountable. Each refers that I am talking about singular. Each is not uncountable. Each tells me that I am talking about singular. Similarly, everyone or every is referring to singular. Yes, yes, Udesha, we will go for is. Is it clear, everyone? Almost news is no formation, Sangini. It has to be almost all of the news or almost all of the flowers. It will follow the same rule. It will follow the same rule. I will go with the count of the subject. Gunjan, again in the case of you, we will go with the count of the subject. Now, there are going to be cases where your subjects are joined by the word and. Bob and George, Ram and Shyam, Sita and Geeta. When my subjects are joined by the word and, I am going to treat them plural. If they are joined by the word or the word nor, I am going to treat them basis that which of the two subjects is closer to my verb. Let me explain. Bob and George are leaving. All of us agree with this? Very simple. Ram and Shyam are leaving. Sita and Geeta are coming. Very easy. Both the subjects are singular. They are connected by the word and. It becomes plural. I use a plural verb. What if it was neither Ram nor Shyam are coming, or neither Ram nor Shyam is coming? What will it be? In this case, it will be is, because I am treating both of them as separate and they are both singular. What if it was neither Ram nor children dash coming? Is or are? It will be are. The rule is, if it is neither Ram nor children, verb will coordinate with children. If it is neither children nor Ram, verb will be singular because it has to be in coordination with Ram. But if children is there, my verb will be plural because it is referring to children. If it was Ram, my verb will be singular because it is closer to Ram. So Vinisha, what I'm saying is, suppose one of my subjects is singular, one is plural, and they are connected by the word like either or, neither nor. The verb is going to be singular or plural depending upon the count of the subject which is closer to it. So if I say neither Ram nor children are leaving, because are has to be in coordination with children. But if I say neither children nor Ram, then I will say is leaving, because then Ram is closer to the verb. So in the case of neither nor or either or, my verb needs to be in coordination with the subject which is closer to it. That is what my rule says. Is it clear, Vinisha? Is it clear, Supriya, Harsh? Yes, Padmalya, if it is Ram and children, it anyway has to be R, because the word is and. I was telling to coordinate with the count of the closer subject when it is either or neither nor, or I have the words like or nor. In the case of and, it automatically goes for plural. No. Children and Ram are living. I said in the case of or and nor. In the case of and, it will be are. In the case of and, anyway, it becomes plural. If you see my rule is saying subjects joined by and are plural. Subjects joined by or nor, they take the verb closer to them. Vanshika, the way this sentence is formed, because of the word which coming in between, receive has to be in coordination with child. Love and support are not the subject. Child is the subject because you have the word which in between. And hence, my receive will be in coordination with child. Because the subject is child, subject is not love and support. Because there is a word which in between. That so which means that love and support is not the subject. My subject is child. Which child receives. Love and support, as such, the way you have written right now, they will be treated plural, and they will be love and support are important. But not in the sentence which you shared earlier. There is a word which is a demonstrative pronoun. You have complicated the sentence over there. There, my verb will be in coordination with the word child. If it was just love and support, yes, are important. Understood, Vanshika? Now, my next rule. If my sentence is starting with a word there or here, and specifically only if the sentence is starting with these two words, then I will have to wait for the subject. Subject comes later, and I have to ensure that whatever is the count of the subject, my verb is in coordination with it. So if I say there were 5 books on the shelf, or if I say there was 1 book on the shelf, was or were will depend upon the count of book. It will not depend upon there or here. So in the sentences which start with there and here, the subject comes later, and my verb has to be in coordination with the count of the subject. So if it was 5 books, it will be were. If it was 1 book, it will be was. Now comes the most complicated rule, which at times makes it difficult for us to identify the collective nouns. The collective nouns could be treated both singular or plural depending upon their usage in the sentence. Hence, this becomes very challenging because you have to read and understand that whether the collective noun is being counted as singular or plural in the sentence. The orchestra is playing a hit song. The orchestra were asked to give their musical backgrounds. If I say orchestra dash playing a hit song, am I treating orchestra as singular or plural? If I say orchestra dash playing a hit song, but if I say that orchestra dash asked to give the musical background, and especially when I'm using the word their, THEIR, that means that I am talking about each individual person present in the orchestra. Is it clear? Is it right? If I say that each and every person, no orchestra, the orchestra dash asked to give their musical backgrounds. The word there, it reflects that I am talking about all the individuals who are the part of orchestra. Orchestra is a collective noun for a group of people who are delivering music. So here I am referring to all the people, but in the first sentence I am talking about them as a group. So when I use a collective noun to refer to a particular set of objects as a group, as a one, I will use the singular noun. That's what I said, that it's a difficult rule to remember because it's a easy rule to remember, but it's a difficult rule to implement. You have to read a lot. You have to read a lot to understand that what is the context of the sentence. If the entire collective noun is used to refer to the entire group as an entity, as a unit, I will use singular noun. But if my sentence on reading gives a context that while I'm using the collective noun, I am referring to each individual of the collective noun separately, then I will use the plural noun. Yes, THEIR, to give their musical backgrounds. If it was to give its musical background, then orchestra group was treated as one. But I said their musical backgrounds means I'm treating them as individuals. Do you get the difference, Kunjan? If I say give its musical background, or if I say give their musical background, these two are the usages which tell me that whether I'm treating group as a one or I'm treating group as many. Yes, Sangli, the crowd there was sent back home. This will be was. Or if I say was asked to give their family or to give their Aadhaar card submission, and I use the word THEIR, then the crowd were. My point is, yes, orchestra was asked to start by 10. Yes, Vinisha, this is correct. So my point is, we have to read, we have to understand that the collective noun, which is the trickiest part, is my collective noun being talked about as a whole, as a one unit, or is being treated as a group, where I am talking about individuals which form that group. Is it clear now, everyone? Harsh, is it clear now, everyone? Now there are certain subjects which end with S, but they are singular. Mathematics, physics, like name of the subjects. These end with S, but they are not plural, they are singular. Mathematics is a subject, mathematics are not a subject. Physics is a subject, physics are not a subject. So we need to keep a track that whether my noun which is ending in S is actually singular or plural. Rule number 8, easy. Who is going to give the examples? Who is going to give me more examples for nouns which end in s but are not plural? Economics, United States, athletics. News in itself. News is another word which ends in with s but it's singular. Measles, mumps, species. There are so many examples. Now, rule number 9, whenever we have words like doesn't and don't, Harsh, trousers is plural. Trousers is not singular. Scissors is singular. Trousers is not. Doesn't. Times, it depends. So if say you are talking about Times as a company, the Times of India, then it's a singular. But if you're talking about times were good, times were bad, then it's plural. Glass is singular, Sanjay. Right. So moving to doesn't is a contraction of does not and should only be used with a singular subject. Don't is a contraction of do not and should only be used with a plural subject. Very easy to remember, right? Doesn't and don't. Doesn't will always be used with a singular. Don't will always be used with a plural. Now more examples. We just studied physics, mathematics, more examples. Civics, dollars, news, all of them require singular verbs. None of them are plural. Now, coming to rule number 11, a number of a countable noun is always plural. A number of students are going on the trip. A number of flowers were not smelling good. A number of bricks fell off. Dollars is singular. So, singular. So, whenever I'm using the word a number of, or the number of, I will use plural as my verb. I will not use singular as my verb. A number of means I am talking about more than one. Condition is it has to be a countable noun. Number decides the verb, but for a countable noun. If it was uncountable, suppose water, milk, I will go for singular. But if it is countable, I will go for plural. Okay. So more than a number deciding, in upcoming sessions, we will be doing questions on all these areas. Similarly, if I say the 5 gallons of oil, so whenever I'm using a unit of measurement, whether it be liter, gallon, kilometer, centimeter, kg, etc., I will always refer to them as singular and will always use a singular verb. Units are always singular, units are never plural. Yes, sugar is sweet. Does and don'ts, Urvi, it simply means that whenever I use the word does or does not, I will use a singular. Whenever I use the word do or do not, I will always use. They have a very standard format. Does and does not will always go with singular. Do and do not will always go with plural. Okay, Urvi? Rule number 12, Gunjan. Units, the units of measurement, whichever we use, they always are treated as singular. Units are never treated as plural. When I say unit of measurement or unit of time, Padmalya, I am not talking about rupees. I am saying meter, kilometer, second, hours, inch, feet. I am talking about the units of measurement or time. When I say some countable noun, Vani, I meant if the word which is there after a number of, it has to be a countable thing, like a number of students. But if it was milk, I will use singular. If the noun which is coming after the word a number of is uncountable, I will use singular. If it is countable, I will use plural. 3 ampere current was transferred. Glasses is not a number of. Hush, glasses is different. You are talking about a plural thing. I am talking about specifically about a number of and the number of. Don't mix the rules. You have to read the rules in the end. You have to read the rules in the entirety. You cannot take a part of a rule and try to apply it in a sentence. Take the whole rule as one. Okay, Harsh? Dozen of banana will have a singular verb. Rule number 13, both, all, some used with a countable noun, my verb will be plural. Some men are needed for the battle. Few men were there. Several of them were there. Both of them were trying to do this. Some of them did not do this. Pratap, this PDF will be available to you by tomorrow morning in the ebook section of your course. This is for the live class and hence was not provided earlier. You will have this in your account tomorrow. Let's do a few examples. Tell me in question number 1, which of the two sentences is correct? Which of the two sentences is correct or are correct? First of all, tell me this. Which of the two sentences is slash are correct? Is correct. Perfect. Now tell me the answer for question number 1. A. Perfect. All of you got it correct. Question number 2. Perfect. It's B. It's B. Question number 3. Either or I will go with the subject count which is closer to my verb. It is scarce. It will be are. Right? Fourth, easy one. Some of the potatoes are salted. The subjects are connected by the word and. I will go with plural verb are. My rule number 1 itself. Question number 5. Is working. Option number A. Okay, someone asked me to explain question number 3. Whenever I am using the word either, I will have to go with the verb which is in coordination with the subject closer to it, which is cars in this case. I will go for plural. Okay, Pratap? Question number 5 is option number A. Question number 6. Read it carefully. Question number 6. The singer along with a few others. Am I treating them as one or am I treating them as separate? The word along makes you one entity. Makes you one entity. If you have become one entity, my verb will be singular or plural. What will it be? Correct. So it will be place harmonica on the stage. Answer is option number B. Last question. Easy. Question number 7. Perfect. Yes, correct. It is. Sandals and towels are essential gear for a trip to the beach. Perfect. So were you all able to understand some of the basic rules which we discussed? Perfect. We will be taking this to the higher levels in the upcoming sessions. Yes, yes, Sandeep, you are correct. The Guru as well as his disciple are committed to celibacy. Perfect, great. So thank you everyone. This particular PDF will be available to your ebook section by tomorrow, and this recording will also be available. Thank you everyone for joining, and hope all of you will be able to improve your accuracies in sentence correction. Yes, Gunjan, you can message me now. Thank you everyone. Good night.